Okay, Gene Burnett from GeneBurnett.com. I was watching a little YouTube short about a week or so ago, and a guy had a little podcast going, but he had made a little, minute-long video. I don't know the guy's name. I didn't write it down, and I got lost in the shuffle. So anyway, this guy was I think he was a doctor, but this was a medical fitness kind of oriented podcast, and he was saying that a good test, to see if you're aging gracefully, is whether or not you can get down on the ground without any falls or bumps or drops of your weight. Like smoothly get down to the ground and lie down on your stomach or on your back, and then get up without grabbing anything, without any external holds or pulls to help you up. Can you do that 10 times? So I am 67, been doing Tai Chi for 40 years, yoga, martial arts of one kind or another. So I thought, well, I'm sure I can do this. I do it 10 times a day anyway, just putting on my shoes and stuff. I'm kind of I like to sit on the floor and watch TV, lying on the floor, that kind of stuff. But I wanted to do it as, kind of efficiently as I could. And the simple start that I did was just to put my hands down like that on the ground, turn my outside foot, let's say my left one, out a little bit, and then tuck my right foot behind it and just set myself down into a cross-legged position facing this way. And the thing I like about that is it's 100% reversible. So I just turn back the other way and just come right back to where I was, and then come back up. So I didn't use my, I didn't use my hands to pull anything, and I didn't use momentum either. I didn't swing myself. I didn't hoist my weight past some place where I couldn't really support it. So again, I put my hands down, I turn my foot out a little bit. That does help. I could do that and then turn my foot, but I don't like that as much. I'm more prone to fall if I do that. I turn my toe out, put the other foot behind that one, behind it, see? And then I just turn, boom. And then back to here. Wait a minute, that time I swung it. So if I do this, I'm using momentum. I want to just use my muscles. So I'm turning, placing the foot down, and now I'm in a curl down position, which I do many of. This exercise is part of our warm-ups. Qigong, Tai Chi warm-up type stuff. So, you can hear a little bit. I'm a little tiny bit winded. So, it is exercise. It's not nothing to take your whole weight off the ground and put it back down again. So that's about as smooth as I can do that one. Boom, 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 boom. And 10 of those definitely got my attention, but it didn't, it wasn't very hard. I did that fairly easily. I did 10 pretty quick. And then I thought, okay, what if I raise the bar a little bit higher? I'm sharing this, by the way, not to encourage you to necessarily do this. This is something you can play with if you'd like to play with this. If you do, be very careful. And, I'll give a disclaimer. Check with your healthcare professional before you embark on any new physical exercises or disciplines, just in case it could hurt you. That was the last thing that I'm interested in. I want to be helpful. But mainly I'm just sharing as a, elder practitioner here of Tai Chi, balance, yoga type stuff. This is just some of the things that I explore and play with and how I do that, just to maybe give you some ideas for your own practice. So I wanted to raise the bar. So I thought, can I go all the way down and then lie down and come all the way up without using my hands, even against my own body, without using my hands for leverage at all, using just positioning and pretty much mostly leg muscles. So can I do that without strain or too much difficulty? I should mention, by the way, when I just did this one here, I was kind of cutting it short by just going from here back again. What I actually want to do once I'm there is lie down to come from the full extension. So I learned this in a Pilates class years ago, to lift your chin and head, and then your upper back off the ground, and then your middle back, and then all the way up. I called it like a Pilates sit-up. So it gets me to here. Then I fold my feet like that. This one behind this one. Turn, put my hands down, feet, and then up again. So when I was just talking about it, I just neglected to do the whole lie down thing, but that's definitely part of the exercise. So now I want to try to do it without any bumps on the ground and without any hoisting of my weight, no momentum. If I wanted to use momentum, then one of the best and fastest and efficient ways to go all the way down and all the way up is just like an Aikido back roll. I go down and then up. So it's just, hoisting yourself up again. So I'm trying to avoid that. It's not bad, and I got reacquainted with my back roll playing around with this, and I thought, yeah, I want to do more of those back rolls too, just to keep that in my repertoire, because that's a nice thing to be able to do, and it does work the core. So now let's try it. This is what I've arrived at so far. I just kept trying it and trying it and trying it, and when I had a version that kind of worked, I said, okay, what's the most stressful, strainy part of this? Let's see if I can make that part of the chain smoother and less stress, less and less strain, so that it's as easy as possible and the right muscles are doing the work and gravity's not going sideways through my joints and I'm not straining anything to the point where I'm going to hurt myself. So using that as my governor, I gradually got a more and more efficient and less strainy or injury risky way of doing this. And I'm going to keep experimenting, so who knows, it may change yet again. In some ways, this is kind of like the Turkish get-up with the kettlebell, where you get your whole body underneath the bell and then get underneath it again, except I'm not going to use my hands. So I'm going to start. I want to get myself to that squatting position. I want my butt as close to the ground as possible before right away, because that's a big part of the weight to end up lying down. At first, I just kind of squatted down like that, which I'm flexible and strong enough to do. But actually, I decided that was a little bit more strain on the knees than I wanted. So eventually I arrived at doing the curl down. And then from there, just let the butt come to the heel. So I just come down to here. Now I'm going to shift my weight to one leg, and I'm going to extend the other one. And that lowers my butt to the ground without a thump. And then I'm here, I'm going to readjust a little just to be more visible. And then I lie down like that. Oh, this thing is in the way, isn't it? Oh, let's move it over. Sorry. Lie down. And then I'm going to do that same upward Pilates kind of sit up. And then I'm going to pull one foot under the other. Actually, I'm going to put my foot against the side of my bent knee. And I'm going to roll my weight up onto that foot. And then I'm going to take this foot behind me, maybe reposition that one without the thump. And then use that back foot like a starting block to push myself back to upright. So that particular one wasn't too smooth. Let's do it a little better. I'll try on the other leg this time. So I curl down, bend both knees, transfer to my right, extend my left, set my butt down, set the foot down, and hopefully I can lie down without hitting anything. There we go. And then I'm going to pull myself back up to here. Bend one knee. This time I'll bend my right one. Put the left foot against the side of the front of the right one. And then I'm going to roll my weight to that right leg. Pull this foot around. Come to a knee. And then straighten myself up. Boom. Down. Squat. Extend. Sit. Lie. Back up. Transfer the weight. I could do that, but I don't like that little bouncy thing there. I much prefer rolling up and then just spinning on that knee. It's not too hard, and then I bring this foot over sometimes. Then I've got the starting block, help this leg pushing that way while this one straightens. Boom. So that's significantly easier. try the other view. So that would be down, transfer to the right, oh no, sorry, squat, transfer to the right leg, set it down, lie down, try not to hit anything, bring it back up. I forget which leg I went down on, let's just say the right one, come over to here, roll that knee out, bring this one in a little bit, push with the toe, boom. Upright, and I didn't have to use my hands. I've seen people fall in the park, especially older people. I've taught in the park for like 25 or plus years, and I see people fall over the time I've been there, and especially older people. When they fall, the first thing they want to do is get back to their feet as quickly as possible, because it's undignified, it's embarrassing, you don't feel like you have any, I don't know, options if you're just lying on the ground when you fell down. And I understand that, and I get it. And unless you're injured, that is a good thing to do. Get yourself upright as quickly as you can. You'll be in less risk of further injury and accidents. And it's just good to recover. But if you can't recover the upright because your ankle broke, or you got a bad bruise, or you've injured yourself, or you're in shock, you need a minute down there to get your get your shit together, or get some help. Obviously that's important. But really, if you can get back up and you're not in shock or injured, it's good to get back up, and you'll want to, regardless of whether it's good. Your whole body will want to get back up. And I've noticed people falling and they cannot get back up, even if they weren't injured in any way. They're struggling to hoist their weight back where it can teeter on their feet, which is probably one of the reasons they fell in the first place. So I think this is a really good thing to get in your repertoire as an older person, so that if you do fall down, or you can almost say when you fall down, you will be able to have a smooth, healthy way that you know already. It's a path you play with on a regular basis, even if you just do it once or twice a day, to be able to get yourself back up there. I'm adding a bar to it, which is, can I do that without using my hands? So I'm working on doing the whole thing by basically legs and core, like that. It is a decent amount of work for the legs. But this version, just putting your hands down, turning one toe out, tucking the other foot behind, and now you're in a cross-legged position perpendicular to where you were. And then here, like suppose I tripped and fell down, my first task would be to get myself up to here. Then I just put that foot underneath, turn and put my hands on the ground, use my hands to move my weight over to where they're on my feet, and then come into here and come back up. So having that in my physical repertoire makes me feel more comfortable. It just makes me feel more confident and less fearful of falling, because if I do fall, I know I can get back up on my feet, pretty efficiently. And now I know that I can do it without even using my hands. So even if, let's say, I fell and my hands were somehow injured, I could come up and roll this foot back, and I can get up, So it's just a nice thing to have in my repertoire. And if you want it in yours, you can do it the same way I did. Just experiment with doing it. I recommend starting with the hands down version a few times. If that's a challenge, and just do that every day a few times, with maybe someone around in case you hurt yourself, or something around to grab if you absolutely need it. But you do that and get comfortable with that, and then maybe you might want to try it with no hands. Maybe someday I'll do it with 2 glasses of water in my hands. So I'll come down like this, and I'll hold the water in front of me, and I'll come here like this, and just do that. Something like that. I don't know. I'll do it with a grandma's china set balanced on my head. I wouldn't be able to lie down now. Anyways, just an example of the kind of crazy stuff that an old guy like me, who's interested in balance and continuing to challenge it and find new ways to play with it, it all happened from a YouTube short that I saw, and I'm indebted to that guy. If I ever see him again, I'll send him a thank you message, because that's just part of my practice now. I want to do 10 all the way down, all the way up, no hands. 10 of those by the end of the day. So I think I'm getting very close to my quota today. So thanks for watching. I make these to be helpful. If you find it helpful, a comment's always appreciated. I do have a PayPal tip link under this video to support my musical and Tai Chi video ventures. If you feel like supporting that, by all means shoot me a tip. It would be great, but not why I do it. Mainly want to be helpful to you. So if it's helpful, let me know. You take care, and good luck with your practice.